You have been overseas doing some spying, if you will, on what exactly is going on in Europe related to Chinese brands. Inform our audience, if you could, on what you've discovered in your recent travels and maybe how folks on this side of the Atlantic should be paying attention.
Just came from Spain, Madrid. It was the annual Auto, that's the NADA of Spain, their
Mm-hmm.
conference, the largest in Europe, several thousand people there. The big story, Chinese cars are pouring into that market at a record clip. In fact, the fastest growing market for Chinese brands in Europe today is Spain.
Really?
Why? What's
Why?
going on there? They're bringing low cost vehicles at much higher quality than expected, and they're moving fast. So the Spanish consumer, Spanish dealers are saying, bring them, bring them.
Hmm. BYD would be an obvious one. Who else is moving in?
The leading
SAIC?
names there, the ones you see on the streets are MG. That's
Mm-hmm.
the British brand that was acquired by SAIC now 20 years ago.
Yeah.
BYDs are enforced. Also, Chery with a subsidiary brand called Automotive. There's plans to even build a factory in Spain, in Barcelona next year. So, but Spain is just a microcosm, Jason. If we imagine a map of the world, entire map of the world, we got all the hemispheres and continents, and we color code it red and white. Today, the map is a sea of red with two exceptions. White is USA and Canada. What do I mean by that? No matter where I go, from Mexico to Brazil, Thailand to Indonesia, the Middle East, UK, Australia, it's all Chinese cars being exported into those markets. The only two exceptions in the world are the United States and Canada. That's it. We're on an island here, a lonely island. And what does that mean for dealers or for business people? We might have a false sense of security, like, oh, Chinese cars, much ado about nothing. I don't see them around, but don't make that mistake. They're pouring into markets globally.
And they're accepted by consumers. They're accepted by dealers. As you said, bring it on. So local governments in those areas, in the red areas, to use your example, have open welcoming arms to all of that investment, right?
Absolutely. And maybe the best illustration of that is Mexico, right here on our southern flank. China's now the number one supplier of cars to the Mexican market. They shipped more than 300,000 cars there last year. And when I talk to Mexican officials and dealers, they say, why? Simple, low cost, affordable for our consumers, for our constituents here in Mexico. And that's a theme that I've seen play out in Brazil, across Europe, Southeast Asia. The Chinese are just flooding in. To put the numbers in perspective, China exported more or less about 1 million cars in 2020. 4 years later, last year, that jumped to 6 million cars, number one in the world, more than Japan, more than Germany. So even though we don't see it here, it's real and it's coming. Eventually, we're going to have to confront it here as manufacturers or dealers in North America.
And when it comes to electric vehicles, as you have written, China enjoys overwhelming superiority. China's EV and battery production is 10 times greater than that in the United States. 10 times. So
we are the underdog, Jason. We used to be the center of the global auto industry. No longer. China dominates on so many fronts. The number one capacity in the world. They have enough capacity to supply half the world's demand. They produce 3 times as many cars as we do. They build more electric vehicles than all other countries combined. They utterly dominate batteries and battery supply chains. It's like if an alien came down to Earth right now and checked in with us, and they said, where do we go? Where's the center of the automotive action today and going into the future? Yeah, it's pretty much hands down this place called China.